Hello everybody, welcome. It's Saturday. I'm going to show you the slides. You don't need to see me this morning. I had a beautiful place set up to record, and then all of a sudden a bunch of weirdos sit down beside me and start making a lot of noise, so I had to run back to the room. But anyway, still on the road. Let's talk about the crypto market cap. Nearly 2.4 trillion. Volume small, 60 billion. Bitcoin hovering around 68k. It did hit 69k, heading to 70k. Dominance down a touch to 57.6, and fear and greed is at 72. Let's get into it. Huge news, big week. Disclaimer, not financial advice. Let's talk first about the big Bitcoin black hole. One of two black holes we'll talk about today, but the big news is this. This is the ETF. I want to make sure everything is recording, by the way. Hold on a second. Else I've been just talking to myself for quite some time. Yeah, good. We are live. Awesome. Thank you all for coming, by the way, and thank you to the mods in the chat. But the big news is this. The Bitcoin ETFs took in 31,639 Bitcoin in 5 days. That is staggering. Look at some of these numbers in green. Fidelity, 240 million on Monday. Blackrock, nearly 300 million on Tuesday. Blackrock, nearly 400 million on Wednesday. Blackrock, 309 million on Thursday. Insanely big numbers. Even ARK had two 100 million plus days this week. That is bonkers. To put this in perspective, shout out to Hodl 15 Capital. Week 41, number of Bitcoin mined, 3,150. Number of Bitcoin gobbled up by 9 ETFs, 31,438. It is insane. The question is, how long will this last? That's what we need to figure out. Looking at another view, I now call this FlowTober. We had $2.5 billion into ETFs in just 2 weeks. Again, 37,000 Bitcoin is another way to look at it, which is huge, and it's having an impact on price, no doubt about that. As of late, I'll be running the numbers again, the correlation between ETF flows and Bitcoin price. Last time I measured it, it was about 14% for the previous 30 days after being up over 70% at the beginning. But we'll see. We'll check in later this week when I have time to do it. Now, the money flow is way above trend. Trend is the parallel pink line here. Shout out as well to Gio and Fred, who met in person yesterday, which was awesome. Now, again, just to put things in perspective, look how big that could be. The big spike we've been looking for a long time for the third big accumulation period for Bitcoin. Another view is how many Bitcoin were swallowed. Again, 37,200 gobbled up in just 10 trading days. We'll see if this continues, and it could, because now, for the first time ever, investment advisors are just beginning to get a taste for Bitcoin. In addition, the cumulative flows hit another new all-time high. We're going deep into the $20 billion plus flow. Focus on the red line here on my chart, and you'll see exactly what this means. We haven't had a big spike like this, literally, since around May or June of this year, and it's good to see it back. And another view of where we stand, we are now about 180 days post-halving, half a year, 6 months. And we're still in that box. I originally had my post-halving box, the 90-day period, the floor, the all-time high. And we're still ranging, but we're on the higher end of the range, and things are looking up. Trend is looking up. But there are some things happening behind the scenes that you need to be aware of. First of all, this is kind of stunning to me. In the last 5 trading days, as I mentioned, spot Bitcoin ETFs have seen massive net flows north of $2 billion. BlackRock accounting for over half of those sales. What's really stunning is of the 80% of direct investors buying IBIT, BlackRock's chief investment officer of ETFs and index investments said 75% had never before owned an ETF or an iShare. These are new customers to BlackRock. BlackRock's very happy having new customers, not existing customers, net new customers flowing into the BlackRock IBIT. And another good news too, Bitcoin ETF options are incoming. SEC greenlights New York Stock Exchange options for trading on Bitcoin ETFs. Not only are we getting IBIT options, but also New York Stock Exchange will be launching all of the Bitcoin ETF options too. which will bring in more institutional money, which is a good thing. Now, speaking of the SEC, however, here's hoping to Gary Gensler goes out with a bang. We need a regime change here. He again is lawfaring against crypto, including tokens like Solana, Cardano, Polygon, Binance. The regulator again continues to assert that these tokens are being traded as unregistered securities, countering any expectations that it might ease the scrutiny. So again, he can't tell you why they are securities. Ripple, XRP in a court of law said it was not a security. And as I maintain, if XRP is not a security, I don't know what is. Again, this is a weird regime here that needs to go. Fingers crossed we get a change. Also, what's also happening in the world of digital assets, digital currencies, BRICS greenlights digital assets. Vladimir Putin says BRICS will adopt digital currencies for investments. This is big. There's been a lot of movement around BRICS lately. The coalition is growing. A lot of people still don't think it's a threat to the dollar, but it will chip away a little bit, no doubt. And the fact that they are embracing crypto should be, put the world on alert that crypto and digital assets are very real. Now let's get back to Bitcoin a little bit. Whales are stacking like it is the year 2020. We all know what happened last time whales did this, everybody. Check out the red box. That's last time whales stacked hard. What happened afterwards is Bitcoin went on a rampage, absolute rampage, from about 6,000 up to about 69,000, basically a 10x after the whales did this last time. Not saying it's going to happen this time. I do believe in diminishing returns, but again, at this level, whales know what's up, whales know what's coming next, and whales are accumulating Bitcoin at the exact speed which resembles July 2020 to January 2021. And again, we know what happens next. We'll see if history repeats. It often does. Now, a big conversation is really hitting the wires. Michael Saylor was out. He said, come on, short my MicroStrategy. He just wants to create maybe a gamma squeeze. He's so confident. But he was also advocating for a capital revolution. He's urging corporations to leverage Bitcoin for significant gains and inflation protection and to help companies surge their stock prices. And we are seeing more and more Bitcoin strategy companies coming to the fore. And I believe, and again, I had this discussion yesterday with a bunch of people, I believe this cohort of Bitcoin treasuries could be far larger than retail investors, everybody. So watch this space carefully. And of course, Saylor predicts a $13 million Bitcoin price within 21 years. Imagine buying an asset for 60K or even 50K back on August 5th. That goes to 13 million in just 2 decades. And believe me, 21 years goes pretty fast. Now, I have this little chart that I check in every now and again, which is interesting, and it's the US home prices priced in Bitcoin. We've gone from 37,000 Bitcoin about 10 years ago to about 1,000 Bitcoin. 2014, 2016, it was about a couple of hundred Bitcoin. Last bull market, it was about 30 to 60 Bitcoin, depending when you look. Now, the average US home priced in Bitcoin is now 6.125 Bitcoin. The reason I share this is there will come a time, probably in the next 3 to 5 years, when the average US home will be parity with Bitcoin. Okay, that means this chart will go to 1, down from 6. So I do believe in the next 3 to 5 years, Bitcoin could 6x. So watch this space carefully. It's just fun to understand. A big topic of discussion is, should people hold real estate now? Well, it looks like maybe there's a new alpha predator out there. Anyhow, back to what happened this week. This is the top 50 this week. Bitcoin up 9%. A lot of names are up. Some names are down. Like the bottom on the right, you see Tau, Kaspa. I can't read that. Uniswap, I think, on the bottom right. Yep. And the winners for the week are Dogecoin. And it's insane. Memes are back. Doge, the top performer for the week. Aptos, number 2. Litecoin, number 3. Bitcoin Cash, number 4. So weird stuff happening out there in the marketplace. Now, I want to share some SCP profiler data from a dashboard, and this is a key metric that I look at a lot, and it's very important to really understand how to appraise crypto. But again, this is from the SCP profiler, and it looks at fully diluted market cap over daily transactions. And now Cardano is nearly trading at nearly $500,000 per transaction. By far the most expensive chain, and by the way, Stacks used to be the most expensive. Now Cardano is even more expensive than Stacks. Number 3 on the chart is ETH. Number 4 is Polkadot. Number 5 is ICP, and down the line. If you go to the cheaper chains, of course, you got Solana about $2,000 per transaction. Sui about $2,140. ZK Sync $23,000, etc. Aptos about 5,300. So it's a very good metric, one of the many metrics I use to appraise tokens. Now, the reason I mention this is because this guy is back, CH, and he believes he's out there. He said the most ridiculous thing. He said Cardano will become larger than Bitcoin and Ethereum in 20 years from now. Again, the world will be very different in 20 years, and I am, since 2021, I said this thing doesn't have any legs to stand on, and I continue to believe that. So just be careful what you listen to, people. He's spreading hopes and dreams, and that is not a strategy, okay? This is just, I have to speak up now. Normally I let things slide, but there are people pumping this stuff all over the internet, and people just need to, again, go back and look at the data. Look at this. Understand what this means and make your own decisions, everybody. Another view of the world, Cardano daily active users spikes to 26,000, where Solana does about 6 million. All right? That's approximately 230 times the daily active users of Cardano. Just, again, follow the winners, and Bitcoin's about 375,000 users. And for the longest time, Bitcoin never had more users than Ethereum. But now it does. And Ethereum, 362,000 users. So again, everybody just look at the data. The answers are there. Speaking of Solana, this also came out this week. Solana runs nearly half of all crypto users on the planet. There are 30,000 plus cryptocurrencies. Half of the users are on one chain. This is my black hole thesis coming to life, and we are only just beginning, everybody. This is the big Bitcoin black hole. By the way, Base is number 2 now. 23 million. Near Protocol is there too as well. But this is monthly active crypto addresses from Andreessen Horowitz. Again, 220 million active addresses. We're heading to 1 billion, ladies and gentlemen. We just need to 4x, and we're at 1 billion users, and that is S-curve time, everybody. It's exciting. Also, stocks for the week. Just looking at this, you can see Apple up, Nvidia up, Tesla up a little bit. Amazon, Google kind of flat, and the banks did well this week as well, so banks are excited. Let's talk a bit about Tesla. I didn't talk much about Tesla since the event last week, but this from Tesla Chen. According to news, Giga Shanghai will start producing the closed loop of the new Model Y next week. Okay, we've seen how brilliant the Model 3 is. Everybody I talk to who has one is blown away that this car is so good and so cheap. The Model Y upgrade is already the best-selling car in the world, and now it's going to become a whole lot better. Okay, again, another black hole. This is the third black hole I'm mentioning today, and a lot of people were disappointed about the Reboot Robot event. Tesla came out this week as well, and they released a new video showcasing improved capabilities of the Optimus robot. Remember as well, the We Robot event. You don't want, actual live autonomous robots running around human beings. They had to bring some type of safety in place. But to combat all the FUD that's being spread, the new demo showed autonomous navigation. Optimus can now explore unseen spaces autonomously, avoiding people and obstacles using neural networks. Okay, this version was not at the Robot event. Can you imagine if one thing went haywire and injured somebody, or fell over, or bumped into somebody, or poked somebody in the eye? It would be a catastrophe. So that's why that did not happen. Also, this is kind of mind-blowing. Stair climbing. The robot showed the ability to walk upstairs. This, I don't know of any other robots that can actually do that effectively in a kind of a humanoid form. Also, load capacity. It's not a lot, but now Optimus can hold 11 kilograms on a tray. It's about 23, 24 pounds. Again, not a lot, but it's pretty good as well. And self-charging, they can locate, navigate, and dock with this wall-mounted charger autonomously. And human interaction, improved ability to interact with humans, including serving food and drinks. So we saw some of that as well out there at the We Robot event, but now it just showed it actually can do a lot more than people believe. And finally, a little bit of macro news, moral hazard on steroids. U.S. budget deficit jumps to 6.3% of GDP. Again, we're staring down the face of $3 to $4 trillion in deficit. And the crisis deficit spending, which normally corresponds to 7.2% unemployment rate, but there is no crisis. But all of the GDP is being funded by government spending. And some people call this putting lipstick on the economy in an election year. So again, don't believe the data. Watch out, everybody. Happy Saturday. I'll be back tomorrow, live Q&A. Going for a long drive now. That was what happened this week. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you all tomorrow. And let's see who else is here. Thank you, Sean Donnelly. Thank you, Team Tesla. Thank you, Batman. Everybody is here. Good to see you all. And have a great weekend, everybody. Catch you all later. Bye-bye.